Are you ready? Because he's ready. It's Master Jeff, martial arts expert, instructor extraordinaire, and general clown. He's not afraid of coronavirus. He's not afraid of the bad guys. Master Jeff is not afraid of anything.
What's up, folks? Sorry, we're already lined up and ready to go. Hello, Matthias. Hello, Brianna. Hope you guys are ready to rock and roll. Here we go. Chitty up. We get the huddle, connect, huddle. Move down. God, thank you very much for this opportunity for us to train. Please help us use it wisely. In Jesus' name, amen.
What's your name? Good. Chitty up. Good here.
And let's face Master Settles. Chitty up. All our answer, connect. And all of our hard-working, helpful black belts. Chitty up, connect. Thanks for being here, black belts. Oh, and let's see. Master Solo starts class all the time. You start class all the time. You just started class. Why don't you come up and do something? Do something vigorous. Get our blood flowing and get us stretched out. So let's face our exercise helper, Tinge Mal, and all yours.
I have no ideas.
Jumping jacks, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. John, count 10, and the first row will continue by counting.
Yes, ma'am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hanım, yok, sen, ne, sat, yaz, you, aha, you.
Push up. Press. And clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clap. Clap.
No, let's avoid running right now because there's kind of a lot of us. However, nothing's going to prevent us from doing some, perhaps, crunches. How about 50 of them bad boys?
So I count, let's go count. 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ana, 2, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, aha, you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hanım, yok, sen, ne, sat, yaz, you, aha, and you.
Good. Okay, let's flip over on our tummies. If you got a belt on, move it to the side. And then stretch like Master Settles over there. Stretch out your tongue. And while you're stretching, listen up. A lot of people, they'll spend a lot of money on a firearm for safety. Or they go to taekwondo class 10 days a week for safety and for defense, to be able to protect my life. And they buy great big logs, but then they stuff their face with pizza and drink a lot of whiskey and wait a minute. Your odds of getting attacked or killed by a bad guy, it can happen, but they're pretty slim. Your odds of dying of a heart attack, that's the #1 cause of death in America, bro. And cancer? So how about this? If we're worried about self-defense, why don't we start off by defending ourselves against bad health? By doing some push-ups and crunches and jumping jacks and keeping your body in good shape. Just a thought. All right, so then let's stretch each leg. Wow, that is a really good stretch. You were like at 90 degrees.
My friend here.
I can do this. I'm around.
Check it out. Knees up. Perfect. Good.
So don't make it look so easy, okay? You're hurting the old man's feelings. Ooh, not bad, Leon brothers. Wow.
Check it out. Up. And arm towards the side. Over. Stretch. Switch. Good, everyone up.
Yes, and you did a good job. Thank you very much. Let's face our exercise homework. You have to minute. And if you need a drink of water, go get it fast and then gather under these flags. Yes, sir. Just one, but we have room for one more. All right, so some various, talk about weapons for a second. Master Sarah had this cool thing she did one time, where she was teaching how to fight with a cane, which is kind of a cool concept. And somebody was saying, yeah, it's cool, you know how to use a cane and everything, but dude, I'll stick with my gun. Or, a big butcher knife or something. And Master says, can I tell you what? Why don't you and me, we have a weapon contest. You choose whatever weapon you like, and I'll choose my weapon. And then, or you choose both of our weapons. All I get to choose is the place we do this contest. You guys said, fine. I'm going with 44 Magnum, and you can have your cane. She goes, all right, great. The location is behind airport security. So now what happens to his 44 Magnum, right? All of a sudden he doesn't have it. So to me, it's just a cool thing to think about. A lot of people talk about, yeah, well, I got a gun. Yeah, well, I got this. Well, what about in the shower, bro? What if the bad guy comes in and kicks down your bathroom door, and there you are standing butt naked in the shower? Now what you gonna do? You're gonna just a minute, let me dry off and get my firearm, and then you are going down, sir. So I like to just be prepared no matter what. And then you've got legs, your arms versus legs. The legs are very powerful, and of course we have increased range, right? Because your legs can kick somebody farther away. What's some of the problems, however, with using kicks? Yes, sir, Seven.
You can slip more easily if you're all
You can
balanced
slip.
on one leg.
Right, you're using your hands, you got both feet on the ground. It's already pretty much a miracle that our species walks around on two legs. I'm sure dogs are like, hell, dude. And so good, yeah, you can slip and fall, you get one leg up here. What's another problem with it? Yes, ma'am.
It takes longer to get up.
It's a little bit slower, right? Takes a lot longer to get your leg up there, especially if you're kicking them in the head. And And what happens when you kick and you don't pull your toes back and you hit your toes on the back? Ouch, right? Anybody ever been sparring? You do a roundhouse super slow master settles with your left leg, please, sir, and you catch an elbow right there on the tip. What does that feel like? Not like petting a bunny, right? So for like a week, you're like this. So what are you going to escape on? If you're not law enforcement, you shouldn't be penguin trying to stay in the fight. You should be struggling for a way to escape from the fight. It's just, I'm sorry, but it's just stupid to stick around and try to win a fight, because you don't know if this guy you're fighting has got a gun or a knife or 10 buddies around the corner. Maybe he's a member of a rugby team. You know, so your goal as your regular citizen should be to escape. If you have to kick to do that, great. If you have to jab in the eye or bite them, great. All you need to be doing is creating an opportunity to escape. And if you create that opportunity with a roundhouse and you hurt your ankle, now you're kind of stuck. And you got to deal with gun, knife, rugby team. So, you know, it's just wise to really think this out. Okay, my legs are very powerful. You get hit by one of these bad boys, I'm sorry, you might as well just get hit with a movable spider. You're probably going down. But he's got to think, what if I catch an elbow? What if I hurt my foot on his jaw? You know, he knocks me out, but now he sprains his ankle on my jaw. So it's just some things to think about. And what about the hands? Advantages and disadvantages. Anybody? Yes, sir.
One disadvantage is you don't have as much reach.
Yeah, you don't have as much reach, and I think we could go back to this, you don't have as much power either. All right? What's the one thing on your body you should protect? The guys are like, boom, right there. I think there's a higher priority. This is a close second, especially after hernia surgery. This is instinctively my protection area. What's the first thing you protect, man? Noggin. You want to protect your coconut. If you've got a broken arm, if you get your leg cut off, dude, God forbid, you can still think, and you've got some choices. If the bad guy knocks you out, bro, you might wake up with all kind of funny graffiti on your head with a Sharpie, right? And I say that just to illustrate that they could do whatever else you want. Kind of a creepy thing when I had that hernia surgery. They told me, all right, good night, Mr. Williams. I'm like, I'm not even going to go out. I counted backwards to 1. See there? And she's like, sir, sometimes there's a delay. Sir, surgery's over. I'm like, dude, they like shake me. I look like a mannequin from ear to ear, bro. And I had no idea what they were doing. They got to cut off my arm. In fact, I told them I'm here for the hernia, not the amputation. You just notate that somewhere. Is that a... Oh, I thought I have never heard you two do that. Anyway, we're going to do some kicks, and we're going to do them effectively, but it's just something to keep in mind with all the weapons. And Noah, going into law enforcement, one thing you got to think of, I'm sorry, the rest of us don't have to worry about, is security cameras. Because if you happen to kick, it's going to be considered an offensive overuse of force or whatever. But to me, if you got to do it, you got to save your life. I'd rather deal with the court later than lose my life right now. So if it comes down to need to kick, to me, it's something you should have there. You have it on your utility belt where you can kick if you need to kick. Let me look around. Okay, so let's line up by rank. That's the settles to go here, third degree here. Hurry guys, second degree right there. First degree, boom, disperse yourselves, hurry quickly. And we got one first degree right here. Three stripe red. All the way down to the end, Missy said. Two stripe red, one stripe red, blues. Hurry quick, look alive, guys. You know what we're doing, so be ready to move. Good. Purples. Orange, you go right here, orange. And knowing you may go right there. Let's do a front kick first. And Master Settles, can you show us the ball of the foot version? So with the ball of the foot version, he's got the length of his foot, more reach. Right? For me, Master Settles, for Noah, for Nook, for Nicholas, you know, what's another foot's length? We already got long legs. you know, like kangaroos, no problem. But if you're smaller, maybe you want to get every inch of reach you possibly can. You got more reach, what's the disadvantage? You're hitting with the ball of your foot, more delicate part of your foot. Another way to do a front kick is the whole bottom of your foot, like with your heel. And you don't kick like this with your heel, you kick like a horizontal stomp. So he's stomping the kick forward. And that is the way you kick down the door. Right at that latch. Oh, every time. All right, so I'm going to set this bad boy for 30 seconds. What does this set on? Let's see if Master Settles has been sabotaging. Oh, he did sabotage it, bro.
About a circuit. We use that transition space.
We always tease about that. Okay, so here's what we do, folks. We're going to go 30 seconds. And like Noah, he's taller than me and Master Settles, he's kicking this thing. And maybe you, Austin, wants to kick this thing. So we're all going to take turns. So after our 30 seconds, you guys are going to run behind the targets down to that target where Master Settles is. Everybody else is going to shift to that. Yes, sir?
Are we doing full foot or?
You can do either one you want. I was just giving you options. In fact, you can even do a Mr. Miyagi kick, where you jump kick. Like that. You can even do that one if you want to. Once again, what's the advantage of a jump kick?
More power.
Momentum, dude. You got some momentum going forward. Inertia was a disadvantage. You got your freaking feet off the ground. Good chance of losing your balance. You just gotta lay it out. Any kind of front kick you want to do. On your mark, get set, rock and roll. Good. Wow. Look alive, folks. Kick and twist. Kick and twist. Nice. Where are these kicks coming from? Ready? Go! Good, Noah. Nice, sir. Oh, good, Valeria. Quick, Noah, very nice, sir. Hurry, switch back, go, let's go, let's go. Noah, I'll catch the bag, see if you can put your body weight into it. Quick, switch back, go. Go, Larry, keep that way. Oh, very nice. All right, let's take a little break right there. Then we can use our legs as a baseball bat, meaning you're going to swing it horizontally. The problem with this one is it's not so user-friendly. If you just kick by instinct horizontally, you're going to want to kick like this, especially if you've never done any martial arts. That's the instinct, just kick with the side. The problem is your knee is absorbing the shock sideways, the way it's not meant to bend. So instead, we turn our hips over and hit with our shoelaces. Then your knee is absorbing the shock the way it bends. Plus, you've got two fulcrums, your hip and your knee. So you can really put some salsa on a kick up. Please, Master Settles. 7, please, sir. Very nice, sir. And 7 to a switch kick, fast. Oh, very nice. 7, tornado kick. Master Settles tornado kick. Very nice. So it's like, oh, you can't bring any weapons on the airplane. It's like, dude, I got 2 baseball bats hanging from my hips right here. But make sure you're kicking with your shoelaces, otherwise you're going to be the one on the ground screaming, holding your knee. If not now, then in a couple of years. A lot of people practice martial arts 5, 10 years old. Man, I broke my knee, and it killed my knees. I had to have knee surgery and wore out my knees. Well, probably you're doing it wrong. I'm 57 years old. I've been doing this 35 years. Knees are fine. Thank the Lord, Master Caceres taught me how to turn my hips over and do the kicks correctly. You do them correctly, your knees will be just fine. Roundhouse kicks, and especially Noah, watch that you're kicking with your shoelaces. You might want to try the first few gentle. All right, on your mark, get set, rock it. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Let me see a left one on the wall. Nice. Okay, quick switch back, jump. Ooh, that's not even fun. I see you with your bad self. Know where you got the tank down now. You'll be safe now. Try really twisting your body into it. Oh, yeah. All right, let's take a break right there. And all these techniques, once you get the hang of doing them safely, then you start figuring out ways to put power behind it. Like with a punch, you twist your whole body and pull it with your other hand to really put the punch, but you don't want to do that until you've got a stable wrist. If you put all that power and your wrist collapses, oh yeah, totally badness. Same with any technique. All right, so then an elbow. Elbows are really great, especially if you get in close. So ladies, these are good for you. Some guy's coming up and he's all in your space like this. You get your elbow, boom, and you give him some orthodontist work. You know, orthodontists, they gotta make car payments, so you give some a little bit of work. Here you go, orthodontist, boom, right in the kisser. So Zoe, why don't you show us that, except not on me, show it on this. Cool. Now notice she's using her right elbow, but she's got her left leg forward. Same concept as throwing the ball. You listening, Valeria? So whenever you're doing something with this hand, if you have the other leg forward, it's like throwing a ball. Like this, right? Football, baseball, whatever, this way. You see people who can't throw, usually it's because they've got their throwing leg forward. And that's why it looks like such a wimpy throw. The other people who know what they're doing, they're throwing off with their back leg. Like this. It's the same with an elbow. So it's just like she's throwing. Go ahead one more time. You see, she went, in fact, I have lost this much weight since Christmas. 60 pounds. I've been working really hard anyway. But so she's 60 pounds, and she weighs no more than what I lost, and you can't even tell I lost it. So she really, it's important to her to twist her body and get the correct leg forward and get all the leverage she can. Noah, me, Master Saddles, Nick, Anoop. Okay, we can probably get away with it like this and knock it straight over, but everybody's not like that. And if we run into each other, then it's not going to be so easy. You know, we're just fighting somebody this size. Oh, yeah, I can follow him and accidentally hurt him. If I'm going against Master Saddles, I better feel my P's and Q's and have everything nice and tight and precise, right? So everybody got this elbow? Right. Your mark, get set, rock it. Oh, Sophia, very nice. Over here. Good. Oh, a little bit over. Remember the timing. Good. Close. Come on, quick, switch back, go. Second. Right, quick. So let's talk about range a little bit. The range of weapons. If Master Settles and I are scrapping on the ground, probably that's not the time to use a kick. I'm not going to be able to get any leverage from it if we're rolling on the mat, right? However, if I'm right here, I'm not going to be able to do a punch. It's about a kicking distance. We're about a punching distance right up here. Now we're talking elbows, right? Elbows and knees at that distance. Very important to understand the difference. Farther away from that, now I might need a Joe or a sword. Farther away than that, I might need a handgun. If I've got a handgun at 100 yards, I might as well be throwing a frisbee at him. At that point, I need a rifle. If he's so far away from me that the curve of the earth gets in the way of seeing him, my rifle no longer does any good. Probably I need like a Patriot missile or something at that point, etc. So there's all different weapons for different ranges. Instinctively with hand-to-hand combat, we tend to want to stand right there where we can touch. It's touching distance. Where you stand, anything you're gonna work in your shop and you're gonna do penal law. You're gonna stand about this far away, but it's painting distance. Hand distance, touching distance. So with the elbow, if you do that, you're going to be missing, or you're going to be leaning out, breaking your center and breaking your balance. So just remember, elbows, you're uncomfortably close. You ever have a close talker? One of those close talker people, they come up, hey, Mr. Shells, how you doing today? And you're like, dude, you're coming in my space, bro. We had a couple of friends that were like that. They were both close talkers. We used to always joke, they'd come right up to you guys, hey, how you doing, Jeff? And we're like, fine. And both of these guys did that, so we wondered what would happen if they ever met, and then by golly, they both came to our house one night. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They shook hands, and their noses were nearly touching, and they circled each other as they talked. It was the weirdest thing. It was like watching National Geographic or something. Here we're going up the fence talkers. I'm going to go Arkansas. That is how they say it. It was a weird thing. Anyway, so you're uncomfortably close. Ladies, this is something a bad guy, bully, male type person will do. They'll try to get in your space. You know, and if you're there right here, you don't feel intimidated. So they're going to try to, oh, what's up, baby? And you're up too close. That's when you, oh, there you go, baby. All right? So you gotta stay out of my range. So get uncomfortably close and light them up. On your mark, uh-oh. There it is. Get set, rock, and roll. Oh, yes, it's all perfect. Good, Dylan. Good, good, good. Close up, Bethany. You gotta get uncomfortably close. Even closer. Oh, yeah, good job. Good, Rock and roll, girl. Good guy. Good, looking good. Girl, switch it up. Then you want to have some options in the back. So if the guy's behind you, all of a sudden these elbows don't work, then we want to use these elbows, right? And this is pretty self-explanatory. Grab it, you can turn around and hit them right in the kisser. Ladies, I would recommend always practicing going up a little. Because it's probably going to be, sorry for my gender, but it's probably going to be a man that attacks you. Men attack each other and they attack women. Usually the women are pretty cool with each other. You know, Miss Chicago was a guardian ad litem for a while. As somebody who represents abused children, because you got the parents who are doing the abusing, and you got the state, and either one has kind of a, one fighting the other over this kid, so then the kid has to have a neutral party on their side of the volunteer position. So she did that. She lasted maybe 3 months, and some of the pathetically cruel, just traumatically violent stuff that she saw happen to some of these kids, she couldn't handle it. It was just giving her nightmares, and unfortunately she had to stop. But one of the things she noticed was you go to the men's prison, and it is like a freaking monkey house. It is a zoo, constant violence, loud, it smells like feces, like a block down the road. Terrible. You go to the women's prison, it smells like perfume. Everything's nice, folded, and you talk to the women in there, and Chicago said, I talked to several of them, and the ones I talked to, they're in there because they finally shot or stabbed an abusive husband. So it's probably the case, but they didn't have enough lawyer. Anyway, that just illustrates the point that women just tend, now there are exceptions, tend to not have the violence gene. Some of them do. Bonnie and Clyde, I don't know if you've ever read up on those guys, but the Bonnie, I forget her last name, really was like a sicko, perverted, very violent person, female. But that's why she's such an incredible study, because she's an anomaly. She's really an anomaly in psychology, because women just aren't violent. Anyway, my whole point is, women should expect, first of all, the chances of getting attacked are very, very slim. If you get attacked, the chances of a woman doing the violent attack are just pretty much statistically nothing. So you want to practice going up. It's probably going to be a man that you have to hit right in the teeth. And you know what? While we're doing this one, Master Settles, can you do the old duck under and then come around? I don't want to jar too much. Yeah. Now let's do the simple version, just step through and hit backwards. So see how he's stepping through and then hitting backwards? Like that? Everybody got it? So basically, excuse me, sir. Yeah, sure could. Sure could. So you can experiment. The bottom line is, as long as you're going backwards with your elbows, I'm cool. So you can experiment with whatever you want. Yes, ma'am. Good job, girl. I like your thinking. On your mark, get set, rock and roll. Oh, nice, seven. Good one. Nice, very nice. Good, Sophia. Good, Austin. You figured out the turn. Oh, good, Noah. Switch backs and take a little break just for a second. So I have long struggled with how to explain this to people, but the way you're rotating versus the way you're orbiting makes a difference. If I'm orbiting this way and I rotate this way, my rotation is not friendly to my technique. If I'm orbiting this way and rotating this way, I don't even have to try to hit. It does it naturally. So check this out. If I'm swinging this belt this way, if I walk by the bag now, it's going to hit the bag, and the direction of my walking is going to help my strike. If I'm spinning the belt this way and I walk on this side of the bag, there's a chance I might not even hit the bag. You see what I mean? Because the belt is spinning this way. So if I time it just right, I just went through and it didn't even hit. That is not going to happen if I'm spinning it this way and I walk on this side of the bag. There's no getting out of it. It's going to get hit. Does that make sense? And it's going to get hit harder. If I'm swinging this, just for round figures, 10 miles an hour, and I'm walking 10 miles an hour, it's going to hit it at 20 miles an hour. So, if you're going to hit with your right elbow, then you want to go on this side of the bag, because I'm rotating this way. So then when I go by the bag, it's going to be helping my spin. I'm hitting with my right elbow, and I go this way around the bag, there's a chance I might not even hit it. That makes sense? So right elbow, you're going to go to your right. Spin this way. Now when my orbit and my rotation assist each other. That makes sense? And if you find you're doing the technique, you're spinning, and it's not really hitting, that's probably why I went on the wrong side. Then this happens. See what I mean? Anyway, let's give it a try. On your mark, get set, Rocky, rolling. Fire! One more time. Switch it. With this elbow, bend it. Ready, set, go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, Noah. Did you feel how that, you did it right? Did you feel it? Bella, you did it, you blended like this. Come this way. Back. With this elbow. Straight forward. You're good. One more time. There you go. There you go. Oh, yeah. Good Lord, dude, you got the hang of this one. Good job. Good, quick switch back, go. And I think we're back to all right, guys, we just got a few minutes left. Let's go ahead about here. Thank you very much, guys. Everybody sit in the clock just for a second.
Please.
That's okay. Thank you, sir. We have a lot of siblings. Noah doesn't have a sibling, nor does Enoch, nor does Juan. I think everybody else has a sibling. Oh, never mind. Maybe you could go over with Matt. You guys can go with Master Sells, and he's really good at creative ways to come up without touching. Please, 7, sir. So I'm actually and for any inspectors out there, this is my offspring, my son. So the mask rules don't apply. Mr. Noah told me that he's going into law enforcement, or I forget what level you said you were going into school.
Sheriff's office.
Oh, Sheriff's office. Okay, yeah, very good. Into the academy. Okay, so I'm just thinking off the top of my head what's some good, just fundamental, basic stuff that I can give him to at least get his mind turning, like with the whole rotation and orbit thing, and using your shoelaces to protect your body and the range of weapons. So I'm thinking a lot about Noah, to be honest, and I think that's always good. That's why it's always good to have new people, because it should trigger thought in your mind and give you a shot of energy. You might know something energetic too. I love when new people come in. There's an old saying, it was Shorin Suzuki, I think it was, in the mind of the beginner, the possibilities are endless. In the mind of the expert, the possibilities are few. Which he always talked about beginner's mind. To remember beginner's mind, it's so important to have white belts, yellow belts, orange belts in class, because you see them and their mind is empty. They're ready to learn some stuff. It's like a hard drive with no programs on it, dude. You've got everything is possible. A lot of times they'll come up with solutions or ideas that you've never thought of. Wow, cool. But it's harder, like for Master John and I, we're experts at this point. We've got at least a decade of experience doing things the way we do them. And it is a challenge for us to try to think of a different way to do it. I would challenge him to try to do a bad basic one. You know, like I went to an Aikido class one time, totally different art. And I didn't wear a belt, I didn't tell anybody what I was. And like the first 3 techniques, the sensei said, all right, you know something, what is it? I'm like, okay, well, thanks for telling me. You should always tell somebody about it. He said, okay, sure, no problem. Same thing with Master Frank. So I went over there and just said, he's like, all right, well, you know something. Because it's impossible for us to look like it's fresh to us. Which is kind of sad. It's cool, too, that you have that muscle memory, but on the other hand, anyway, I think it's always cool when you have new people, because just the possibilities are endless. It's such a cool thing. All right, so hand-to-hand stuff, I'm thinking, what can he use? Believe it or not, the part of DOJ statistics show that one of the main things that happens to police officers is getting grabbed by the freaking wrist. Who wants to grab a police officer by the wrist, bro? I mean, come on. They got a gun, they got a taser, they got a radio where they can call more of them, complete with a whirly bird, or they will find you. I don't give a say, yes sir, no sir. And end the traffic stop as soon as we can. But anyway, just some easy wrist escape so you can avoid confrontation. You know, somebody grabs your wrist, yeah, that'll work, but now you got a conflict going on. Whereas if you can do something like that and just get away real quick, and it works, somebody's smaller, he just gets away real quick. Now we've got the connection broken, so the psychology is broken. If you're sitting there struggling and I'm still touching him, now the escalation rises and rises. As soon as you can just break free and just break the touch and go, whoa, hey, we can talk about this, let's just not touch me, bro, okay? So the way he's doing that is coming up, just super slow, and then down, and then doing it quick. So do it with this hand so that no one can see. And what's happening is, even though I'm bigger than him, he's coming out my fingers, like that. And of course, he's got my wrist at an angle. So this is not a very strong muscle, as evidenced by trying to turn a screwdriver like this. If you want to get leverage on the screwdriver, you can get it like that, right? And so he's forcing me to use this muscle while he's using this muscle, just super, super slow. And then he's also coming out like that. And then a while ago, even though 7's really strong, if I just use my weight and leverage, I can keep him from coming up. Oh, he almost got it anyway. Zoe, come up. You're too strong. So with her, can you use that other hand as the helper hand?
Yeah.
Okay, so with her, just do one hand. Yeah, no problem. Even with my hernia, the weight difference is enough where I can just hold it. But if she uses the other hand, even with the strength, it's just the leverage is too much. So she's getting away and grabbing this other hand and just helping that same motion. So it's kind of cool. And even if you never used it in law enforcement, it's a good thing that hopefully you have a daughter one day or a kid one day, you can show them how to get away. If you're teaching self-defense classes, it's a really handy little thing. And if it's a parallel grab, then it's super easy. You don't even have to come over the top. All you do is just line up your radius and ulna and pop right out with your fingers. Another cool one about that is maybe you don't want to get away right away. Like let's say 7's the attacker. He's grabbing me right here. And I get away. Well, there's the exit door over there. So I've gotten away, but now I'm like, excuse me. So I might want to do it wrong. I don't line up my radius and ulna. He grabs me really hard. I don't line him up right. In that case, he doesn't let go. But I move him, right? So making like a Tai Chi beach ball and moving it. And when I'm ready, I turn my radius all the light up and it goes. It's funny, right? So with this in. So I move him out of the way first, then pop loose, and then I can hit toward the door. So that's kind of cool and we can do it the parallel grab. Yes, it's the best. Oh, leave it the fact that they want to take him to the ground. He's like, you could take him to the ground, but just saying. All right, so everybody get with one of your siblings. If you don't have a sibling, gather right over here with Master Cells. You got a sibling. All siblings together. Yeah. So you're feeling all right. You're doing that.
Look, actually, right.
I wish I had more to give you.
Hey, I guess we're not
Now, get up stronger.
I don't even really fight ever.
Yeah, well, that's you guys get it. So, yeah, not your wrist, leave on your wrist. Type your lips to say, not your wrist. Don't leave with your wrist. Don't leave with your wrist. Yeah. Yes. So we try to make it Alright, quick, everybody have a seat. Hold on, Mr. Simmons. I forgot we were 5 in a line. Yeah, let's roll these against the wall. Mush, girls. Mush. Mush. Come on, girls. Thank you, ladies. Please measure yourselves. 3rd degree, 2nd degree, 1st degree, 5 in a line. Why am I calling these out? You guys know what you're doing. 3 straight breads. 2 straight breads. 1 straight breads. Blues. Purples. Greens. Naranjas. Orange right here, sir. And no, you got your own blue straight right here. I'm an ardent fan of law enforcement and military because just like we were talking about a while ago, why stick around and fight? We need to get away. You never know what they have. Gun, knife, rugby team. Police officers, the military, their job is to go ahead and fight the person. You got to contain them. If they're holding up a bank, you're not going to be like, oh, God, let's get out of here. No, their job is to go in and they confront the guy with the gun. And a lot of them end up killed, or maimed. And it's a sad thing, and you got to respect somebody like Mr. Noah who's going into police officer training. He already knows what he's getting into. And I just got a lot of respect for that. But it's not our job. Those guys are trained. Like he said, he's going to the academy. He's not going to go apply for a job. Well, you got the job as sheriff. All right, well, give me a gun. Let's get my car going. That's not how it works. There's a lot of training with de-escalation and psychology and the infinite situations you run into. You just never know. You could run into some jerk, some total butthole, but he's really a nice guy who just had a bad day at work. You could run into a nice little lady. Oh, I'm giving a ticket. Oh, bam! She's got a brick in her purse. You never know who you're going to run into, dude. And so you got to respect those guys. They don't get to say, oh, do whatever I need to do and escape. And I'll call somebody. Well, I'm the one that they're going to call. So I've got to be on my P's and Q's and I'll watch out. Anyway, that is why me personally, I got to respect law enforcement. And I tell my kids, cop tells you no fishing. I don't care if you fished there since you were 3. You say, yes, sir. I get it. Thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir. And then you come on. That actually happened to him.
Yeah, I've been in the same boat quite a few times. Eventually, the cop realizes you're just unconscious and harm.
Yeah.
You still shouldn't do it if you're not supposed to, but if you're always respectful, you'll get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it builds him a reputation. As it turns out, the police officer even said, hey, look, son, somebody called, and so I got to come over and say something. They're worried because he's homeschooled, and he's there like at 11 a.m. And so they're worried you're not in school, so I had to say something. He's like, yes, sir, no problem. And then the cop later told me, you got this really respectful kid. So now the South Miami police knows this guy, and they know he's respectful. So if it ever comes up where it's his word against somebody else, they're going to be like, I think we're going to have to believe this kid. Yeah, you got to be respectful to everybody. All right, nice and sharp and clever. Let's make a nice straight line here, sister. Let's make it one big clap, not popcorn. Chinook. Very, nice. Squeeze the help. Net. Huddle. Hold down. Let's face all of our helpful black belts. Yep. Net, thank you just for being here, black belt. And Master Settle, specifically, yep. Net, thank you very much for being here. So, see you later, folks.
Bye, guys.
Hope you had a good time, tubers. Oh, and there's Mr. Jusino. Mr. Jusino. How come you ain't been in 8 o'clock early morning workout classes, bro? We've been missing you, man. Come on, dude. Brianna, thank you. I love you all. Have a great week. You too, Brianna. We love you too.
Jordan was here earlier, too.
Oh, Jordan, good Lord. All right, guys, it's time for me to get out of here. Oh, Thomas Hoffman, where? I see his Mr. Jeff's class and John is participating. Yes. If you're still there, Thomas, good to be in the same YouTube session with you. All right, see you later, guys.
Bye,
We
Brianna.
are.
This has been a South Miami Taekwondo live stream with Master Jeff. Avoid practicing the techniques you learn in live stream with Master Jeff while drunk, stoned, sloshed, tipsy, buzzed, blotto, slammed, cowed, jolly, play-eyed, hammered, wasted, inebriated, or otherwise intoxicated. Watching live stream with Master Jeff, you acknowledge the possibility, underway all liability for hematoma, laceration, occipital fracture, broken nose, deep mandibular dislocation, strained wrist, hyperextended elbow, broken ribs, bruising, awaiting care, sprains, fractures, dislocated shoulder, or concussion. All rights reserved. Unauthorized presentation and publication strictly prohibited.